Sandwich Nice. Friday's broadcast brought to you by Fifth Dimension. Alright, blessings. Okay, so tonight is Mother Mary and Mother Earth. You can also add ISIS to that. Now, however you want to look at it is up to you. Everyone has their own point of view. But the two of them do have a lot of... Mother Earth and Mother Mary have a lot of... life kind of impact. However you want to look at it. It's just... let's put it this way. It's not going to sit with everyone. But there is a connection there. I should have put ISIS in the title too. As I was going live, it's like ISIS also, but either way. It's it's part of the impact. So there's always going to be different ways of looking at it. So, but from one perspective, Mother Mary is Mother Mary is an aspect of Mother Earth. Which like I said, it's all in how you look at it. Of how it can be a virgin birth and all that too. Because there's so many different timelines that are synchronizing. Just however you want to look at it. Different versions of Earth. There's this, there's that, whatever. But there is, however you cut it, there is always going to be a connection to Mother Earth and Mother Mary. Because Mother Mary brings such a different transition to the Earth's vibration. A shift, a turn of events, however you want to look at it. And, of course, Mother Earth's going to be involved with it in some shape or form. So I keep saying, it's all in how you look at it. Because everyone has their own different belief systems. But no matter what the belief system is, there is a connection between the two of them, or the three of them, including ISIS, that brings a major impact to the Earth. And of course Mother Mary is going to have her hand in it in some shape or form. Of course, technically she's connected to all of us, but being a Mother Mary, that's a major role. And of course every role is major, but this is a history role. Its influences the future generations. It's a big deal. It's like a celebrity, like the Paris Hilton over time, something like that. Maybe less raunchier, maybe not. Jesus with his bad breath. So Jesus and his that's a joke. It's like, here's a big reveal. Jesus had bad breath. Jesus, fucking great. Can't get any better than that. Of course, Jesus was, at least from my perspective, of course, there's different ways of looking at it once again. Jesus being like a playboy type, having multiple lovers, female usually. I was mostly female. Of course, there's gay Jesus. I think they made a movie on that recently or something like that. Probably that. There's different realities, of course, of that. But I believe he was very much somewhat of a womanizer during his time. I could be wrong, but it doesn't matter. But I get that vibration from him. And if you're like a poster child of a Catholic Church, there's some issues there. It's like, if you're seen as more of a Buddha, it'd be a different story. But Jesus isn't really seen like that. It's a whole different story. There's a lot of manipulations. There's different, it's not very cut and dry. There's alternative versions of Jesus that aren't so pleasant. Dark ones, light ones, however you want to look at it. It's kind of a touchy subject in the long run. So, by the way, the focus is Mother Mary. Like Mother Mary, what I saw, she was a healer also. That can heal us just like Jesus can heal. Of course, that wasn't put in the Bible for various reasons, but I believe she learned it through him, or learned it through, it was mostly through him. Joseph wasn't active enough into it, but he had an understanding of it. Not everybody has to be in that role either. But she had her, Mother Mary, of course, there's different aspects, but had a way of calming the soul, calming people down and being kind of like a counselor in some regard of that time. She knew her role was pretty kind of shitty for various reasons. She knew obviously she's going to be interpreted in the wrong ways. But, So, either way, however you look at the Bible realities, either way, of course, Mother Earth wants to be part of everything. And be part of, to bring in someone like Jesus makes a lot of sense. So, and because it's going to be such a big deal, they're going to keep him alive so it doesn't get killed, but there are always going to be people that want to kill him, obviously, as a baby, for various reasons. But, there's different versions of Jesus also, not necessarily called Jesus, that was before his time, that were going to be somewhere in that role, but things never worked out from what I'm gathering. Of course, obviously, you can't really prove a whole lot, but it's just another way of looking at it. So, like with Mother Mary and Mother Mary and Mother Earth, I keep saying that over and over again. It's almost like you can combine the two aspects of it and kind of give you a stronger energy from both of them. For healing aspects, just if you're doing healings, it's just, and if you add Isis to it also, you can add a Lilith to it also if you really want to go. I don't see why not. Let's see here. It has a lot to do with the soul growth of the female, of course, and also showing the role of the man because of Jesus. Because Jesus could have been a female, but it's doing the same damn thing. But because of the Atlantean connections, it could have been a female easily. But because the male is to balance the female, for Jesus to be a male is the better route. But obviously, other realities where Jesus is a female, and probably even called Jesus for that matter, or called whatever, or Josephine, but called Jesus too. So there's just I would call this from a healing perspective, combining those two energies together, looking at from a different lens of point of view. It's kind of a big deal of because you start looking at everything differently. That part is what I'm being seen. There's more to it than that. So Mother Earth helped root Mother Mary into this world, so they combined their vibrations during her time, because Mother Mary had to be protected. Jesus wasn't necessarily. He wasn't necessarily. He was sacrificed for various reasons, and he knew it. He just kept forgetting about it. Of course, I think he was told at a young age that he was going to die somehow, and I don't think it was a cross he knew, but he knew something was going to happen to him. I believe he got some kind of glimpse of it, and it just kind of stuck with him. Obviously, when the time came, it was a whole different story. So, I feel like I'm doing. This is what is it? Not. This is Sunday school. So, all right, let's see what would. All right, we're going to. For those who are new to all this, we'll just go to this real quick. So, those are new to all this, livetalk.com. We have private sessions. Maybe. Scheduler. We're not a channel. Google Hands, Zoom channel by phone. I'm still on 10 days for delivery. Or probably 11 days. Okay, maybe 12. Same situation here. The other channels here is I do recommend social network and Rabbit. Catch up time is after tomorrow. During the holiday, I can catch up. The energy is a little bit different because I'm here all the time, and it just, it's nice to be somewhere different. Here all the time, it can get it gets hot here during the day. Eventually, I'm gonna get out of here one of these days. or find another planet to live on, whatever comes first. So, all right. All right, bring in angel energies, or whoever has a. See, Uriel came up in the mentorship. We'll see what comes through. Or Mother Mary will come through. All right, we're probably bringing Mother Mary. Yeah, Mother Earth also. Yeah, different perspectives. Nothing is really concrete. Well, meaning that there's always another way of looking at everything. And it's kind of a touchy subject. So that's the reason I keep kind of saying, well, there's this, and then there's that, and then there's... It's like, every point of view has a life force to it. It exists in somewhere, so that's on how you look at it. So, all right. Blessings. We'll see where we go with all this. All right, take care. Greetings, this is Mother Mary. The soul is through a journey that is unlike any other in this universe. You're, yes, connecting more into yourselves. It's like looking at a mirror, but you're going into that person. That's you. Going inside. And removing was no longer needed. The old self. You can remove. You'd be surprised how the more positive incarnations can set you on a certain belief system that's difficult to release. Meaning it can make you narrow-minded because life has been so good. It makes you narrow-minded thinking that wealth is everything. But then over the course, then you have to live a lifetime. See, if you think wealth is everything, you can live a lifetime of poverty. It's like, wait a minute. That isn't. Because especially when you see the wealthy people for what they truly are, you see their true colors. Because you're poor, you can see them for what they really are. It's like, wait a minute, maybe just being poor is the best way. You find where you sit, where you experience life the easiest. Some do choose the wealthy side because they don't really want to be part of the darker side. Now, some of them might go to the darker side because they invent a lot in their minds. But they're not really ready to fully experience it. Somebody wealthy is difficult to experience poverty. Some like the victim energy because they're not ready to take responsibility for themselves. So they put their burden on someone else. That's their person's fault. It's the president's fault. It's this person's fault. That person's fault. Everybody else's fault. So, as adolescents, yes, but also shows a slow the growth of that soul is very slow. When you start taking responsibility, that's when you start to enhance yourself. Even Jesus himself had a difficulty seeing himself. His abilities made him kind of arrogant in some ways. Yes, in the beginning, even in the end, because he feel like he can heal himself out of all troubles. He feel like he can always heal himself out of any situation. The spirit will always be there for him, and it was until it wasn't. I mean, he's like, yeah, you had everything going for you to a degree until the cross came in. It's like, I can't escape this, can I? No, you can't. You tried. You failed. So, during the night, the Last Supper was like, he saw this quite some time. And, he did not take it well. He did not take it well, but putting on the cross, none of it. Being persecuted, having Judas turn against him. Judas, yes, has a lot of, Judas is like a lover to Jesus. So, like a best friend and a lover. It's on how you look at it. They're very close. Now, how you want to look at that is up to you. It's there. So, there's a lot of misconceptions. Your church, your Catholic Church, is hiding a great deal. So, meaning a lot of issues that are going on with Jesus is in the Catholic Church itself. Secrecy, things they don't want anyone to know about him. And they're kind of destroying themselves in some ways by not allowing more of the truth to come through. So they're willing to put themselves in a situation of darkness instead of allowing just everything to be known. Not that he has a pedophilia past, but they do. Because the Catholic Church is hiding a great deal. You say hiding so much kind of pulls out a darker side of themselves. Secrecy can destroy. Secrecy is destroying the Catholic Church. Of course, it's a massive energy. It cannot be destroyed easily. And it'll hurt too many people. But because it's not being honest, a darkness is growing within it, which is more of the pedophilia vibration. So it's like, yes, you might see many want all of the knowledge. But what if the world's not, you might be ready for it. But what if the world's not ready for it? So you have all this knowledge you can't give to anyone. And if you do, you'll see as crazy. And the world isn't ready, so it's almost like a double-edged sword. It kind of goes into you. And can really cause you great pain if the timing isn't right. Now, sometimes that's a lesson with that. Because many ask, be careful what you ask for. You want this, you want that, you want that, and are you sure? Many musicians get a lot of attention and they can't take it. So be careful. And, of course the guides and the soul realize they can't take it, but sometimes you experience destruction to find the light within yourself. So, where a Catholic Church is, yes, it knows about aliens. It knows about everything. But see, knowing about these things is hurting it within. Now, it's because also humanity, basically there's layers of the Catholic Church that humanity will be allowed to connect to eventually. It is more sacred than your Area 51. It's a false spiritualism. It's like it gives you spiritualism but not the full allowance of it, as basically to keep you locked into lower astral. So like the Catholic Church with the Vatican is underground, lower astral. It's basically lower astral is kind of keeper of the information that'll help souls evolve. So eventually what's underground will become above ground and possibly turn into like a museum situation where everybody can see it. Now, timelines do exist on that, but the timing of it is up in the air. Instead of going down underground, you go above ground to know what the world has been hiding from you for this long. And the Catholic Church has a great deal of information that they're not going to reveal for various reasons. Even Kennedy, they have information on that, as they're involved with that situation. So lower astral beings are coming through your priests that do a lot of pedophilia energy. Only because you keep the darkness here. You keep secrets concealed. They can only last so long. The demonic beings will be released. So why the Catholic Church has a lot of exorcisms? Because they bring in a lot of it. So they might as well be the ones that get rid of it. Technically. The Catholic Church has a lot of karma on this planet. So it's not going to be fully disengaged from your planet. Fully. But more light energies are going to interfere with it, yes. It's time for the Now, secret knowledge is not going to be fully known yet. Gradually it will, but also you'll know the knowledge too. You'll be there astrally in the in the Vatican, seeing it astrally, seeing the knowledge there, and even you yourself saying, I think this should be made public," and you might remember that in your, like you have a dream of it, and then you wake up and then you find that it's in the news a couple of days later. There's knowledge there. This is why a lot of alien beings now talk about it too. They have to be careful what they tap into, what they get involved, what they tell you. Not to say they know everything, but they know a little bit more than you do. And that can be a lot of responsibility on them. They have all this knowledge. They want to give it to you. They can't. So they get on their ship and get away from you. Or have a council there to make sure they muzzle themselves. So, even if they did bring it out, a lot of it, like aliens, like, oh, okay, we have all this knowledge, and they channel it to you, it can come out disconnected drizzle. Like, wow, we're going to bring you this information, and then it gets disconnected as it goes through you. Because it wasn't meant for your reality yet. Your reality shut it down. So, some of your aliens can unlock, but it's better that you receive it first. Now, there will be channelings of sacred knowledge, yes, over time. Yeah, there's always that to it, but it's a little lighter level. There are deeper levels that would change your world forever. You have to be careful with that. Everybody has to be careful with that. And that's what causes many of you aggravation, because you know there's something else going on in this reality. But what the hell is it? It's because the world is not ready for various reasons, but that does not mean you can't, find a back door. Your Vatican is the back door. Your pyramids are a back door. The Vatican, depending, has more knowledge than your pyramids do at this time. Yes, your pyramids have a lot of astral knowledge, yes. But astral knowledge, actual physical knowledge, that is in your Vatican. They're going to lock your earth. So that's why it's hidden. As you find a document and read it, that vibration is going through you and out to either add more information to that or to take it away. Because you might read a document and get sick. It's like, I don't think the world was ready for this, and I forgot what I just read. So, now some that just want to read it and keep it concealed are usually allowed that knowledge, which is very common in your Catholic, your Vatican. Like, they have the knowledge, they read it, they don't talk about it normally to others. They keep it pretty hush-hush. But that's going to change. Eventually, your Catholic Church will go into a public, in your news media. Your news media is like an executioner to some degree. It's like your Salem witch trial, but it's also a release. It's a release of negativity. It does bring in a lot, but also it can release it. It's like you bring in all this negativity, mind controlling all of these people. You got to do something good every once in a while, and it will. It does, sort of, but not at a higher vibration than it could be. So, it's doing not exactly the best deeds for society, but that's going to switch over time. But everything has to take its time. Be careful. Because the last thing was, sacred knowledge goes into the mainstream. Many can't handle it, and many deaths can instantly occur because the mind can't handle it. Like your alien knowledge, for that matter. Now that is when you start seeing them in your physical, and people aren't ready for it. They will mentally go crazy. Not everyone, but many do. And many of you are like, okay, fine, we won't show our aliens, but we're going to talk about them. But that's all we can do. Now, is that immaturity of the soul and all that that's not ready? Yes and no. Some just don't need it. They're trying to understand this third dimension reality before they go non-physical. Realize being non-physical is not that hard to be in most incarnations on other worlds. Being a lighter vibration is so easier on other planets. This one is a gold mine of negativity, but also soul growth. But of course, you have so much, even if you have to have sacred knowledge, just experiencing this can be overwhelming. It's like, put me back in the light being area. But as a light being, you see the potential of this world. It causes your aggravations. Like, I need to get back and incarnate in this world. It'll take 100 years to get another incarnation on this world. So that's why many of you plan ahead. So timelines are normally set up in your past. Well, of course, there is no time, but we're just going to use it for time purposes. And so timelines are not always 100% on par, but you have an idea. You have all the scenarios in front of you as a spirit being. You can see it all very clearly. But as for Mother Earth and Gaia, yes, of course, there's always going to be a connection there. As there are with you, but many of you connect to diverse energies. For Mother Mary and Mother Earth to be combined, as they're both worshipped in their own way. And they've both known each other in previous incarnations. So combining, kind of like sisters, kind of like the same. Kind of like mother and daughter, doesn't matter. They are the intertwining energies, they both kind of blend in together as if they are the same person. And technically they are, but also they can be separated as individuals. But when you mix the both together, it does unlock secrets within themselves. As Jesus was meant to be here, protected for a short while, part of it has to do with his arrogance, partly also so you can show others that rebirth is possible here. Forgiveness of sins, that was just, it's just souls were not ready to forgive themselves. He gave them that opportunity. Of course, going to him, you don't need to. Forgiving yourself is key and the hardest lesson ever. Self-love, but self-forgiveness is a heavy one too. Self-love is practically impossible for many. It's busy, yes, going outwards to others instead of into themselves. Going into yourself, yes, is basically seeing the war within and so many different aspects in yourself. As you're a male and you see a female aspect of you, which can drive some of you crazy to think that. Or even see yourself in another world as a Hitler type figure, which is another heart. Like, you can go into yourself, what do I see? I see myself as Hitler in another reality. And I also see myself as a butterfly flying around and being nice to everyone. So, or a psycho female that doesn't want to love herself. So, there's so many different aspects of you that you're learning at this time. And eventually other timelines will open up. When you're healing this timeline, like many that are on our deathbed, see other versions of themselves sometimes. Or they just see angelic beings. The angelic beings prepare the soul to release from the earth. For various reasons. They kind of like, they bring in energies like from the spirit world to them. Kind of like bringing a person chocolate. Or family members that they love. Say, hey, look, who's over here? Don't you want to come now? Everything looks okay, does it? But not in a strange way they do it, but they just do it in a way where you discover it yourself. Like, they bring your family members close to you, but you see who you want to see. Like, you see the aunt that you love more than anything, but you don't want to see the uncle that you despise. But you might start seeing the uncle eventually when you make peace with him. It's like, hey, if you make peace with this person, it'll be easier for you to cross over into spirit. It's like, okay, I see you, I hug you, I forgive you for being a prick, and you get released from Earth's contract. So, and also Earth, usually it's those that are crossed over already, that many of you have dealings with. It's not always the living. Sometimes it is. Like, you hold on for, like, if you're a mother and you have a lot of grandkids, you don't want to wait for them. Of course, the parents are usually trying to kick you off the planet. It's like, yes, you can be here for a while, but now your health isn't doing too good, your mind isn't doing too good. You don't need to hold on forever. And it has to do with self-love too. But the Mother Earth vibration is to keep the soul young, or the vibration of the soul young, as the body gets older. So, but also rich in spirit and knowledge. So you can release this. It's like you're incarnating as Earth. It's like you're adding books. You're like becoming an internal bookstore. You're adding knowledge. You're adding books to yourself, stacking it. When you have all the knowledge you need here, then you leave. So, blessings to you. Alright, blessings. Alright, I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's webinar.